Welcome back. Richard is still with us, and we are thrilled to be joined by the one and only Stephen A. Smith. Stephen, thank you. I needed help with Richard. Thank you for coming in here.
What's up, y'all? It's good to see y'all. I hope y'all are good and safe. How's everything?
We are good because
Great.
Basketball is back. And Stephen A., when games restart on July 31st, we will have had 142 days between when the season was suspended and when it resumes. I mean, that's crazy, right? That's longer than guys are usually off for the entire offseason in the summer. Then you throw in the fact that they're going to be playing out of their home arenas. They're going to be locked onto this campus where the losing teams are going to get thrown off Survivor style. So it's going to get weird after each round. There's no fans in the stands. Then again, this scenario is going to have no travel, no distractions. Stephen A., do you think winning a title under these conditions is going to be harder than in a normal year or easier?
Well, to me, I think that it's going to be harder simply because of the rust and obviously the lack of continuity that you would have been continuing to build up as the season progressed and you got into the postseason. But nevertheless, I love it nevertheless because I think we're going to find out what champions are really made of. I think that people, because of this coronavirus pandemic, have not been talking about something that I brought up on several occasions, y'all, and that is this. Champions are not just about your athletic prowess, your ability to play the game. It's also about your discipline. It's about your focus. It's about your conditioning, how you take care of yourself, and are you ready to go? And I think that all of those things come into the equation when you're trying to measure what champions are made of. It's not just your athletic ability. It's all of those ancillary things that contribute to your excellence on the court of play when it's called upon for you to do so. And that's why teams like the Lakers, led by LeBron James, teams like the Clippers, led by Doc Rivers and others, this is why you look at them and give them a slight edge because you know, A, they know what it takes, and two, they've put forth the discipline necessary and have already exhibited for us what's required in order to achieve the ultimate goals. You believe in them and you give them the benefit of the doubt and you give them an edge because they understood all along the season was suspended. It was not canceled. Let's see who else gets that.
Well, and Stephen you're completely right with this, mainly because when you look at all of these guys, I know for a fact that there were text chains with different teams, and they were saying, stay in shape. This is going to be our opportunity. Whichever team, especially in the top 5 or 6 teams that are in the best possible shape, and that means that you were working out during this 2, 3, 4 month break before you can get access to arena. It doesn't matter if you were doing push-ups and lifting weights in your garage and you were making sure that your body fat, you were getting on treadmills, you were doing anything that you could to keep your body ready, because this is a mental warfare. This is going to be a very unique situation, but I still give the same edge to the same 3 or 4 teams. I think that you're going to have the Lakers. I think you're going to have the Clippers, and I think you're going to have the Bucks. And I'm not sure who that 4th team is. Is it going to be the skinny Harden? Are we going to have the Denver Nuggets creep in there? Is there going to be another team from the Eastern Conference that can possibly make a run? But ultimately, I think you're going to have the main characters that have been all year long. And without injuries to any top players, I still give the edge to the Lakers, Clippers, and Bucks to meet in the finals. One of that variation of 3.
I think what you guys are saying, though, is so interesting. I want to stick that with them for a minute. We're going to move on, Richard, to the favorite teams. But the idea that these guys had this basic off-season where they had to decide how they were going to go, I have heard a lot of Western Conference players say, oh, I wonder how Luka Doncic is going to come back. They know that he came into his rookie season having had maybe a lighter training summer over in Europe, and he's been over in Europe for a lot of this break, and I think they're counting on the fact that he won't be in game shape. But guess what? He could be in great shape. That's going to be interesting to see how these guys come back. We just don't know yet. And then you have guys who were tired, who were beat up. PJ Tucker was taking such a beating, guys, in the middle of this season, and the idea that he's had these 3 months to rest. We know with Portland, the fact that they've had all this extra time to rest and recover from injuries. Same thing with Philadelphia. I am very curious to see how that affects the bracket, and that leads us to the top teams in the NBA this season, as Richard mentioned. The Bucks, they're 3 games ahead of the Lakers for the league's best record. They're followed by the defending champs, the Clippers, and now we know when these teams get together in Orlando, they will have 8 regular season games scheduled to determine final seeding. So you're saying that those 3 teams, they're in for you. But I'm going to make you pick, Richard. Who is the team lurking below who you think will be that fourth team in the conference finals?
Oh, that fourth team in the conference final. It depends on the health of Philly. I think if Ben Simmons comes back and he's healthy and you have a Joel Embiid, hopefully, they can get things right. If it's not them, if they're not the team, then I'm going to go with Boston. I love Boston's depth. I love the way they've been playing. I like their versatility. They have a ton of perimeter guys that they can throw, around and play in a variety of ways. So I would give it to Boston.
Well, Milwaukee's got to play somebody, so I would give it to Boston. Here's my fear. I'm starving, literally craving, and I have been all year long. I want LeBron and the Lakers against Kawhi and the Clippers in the conference finals. Can Houston interrupt that? We've got to pay attention to that kind of stuff as well. I can't rule out Houston and the kind of damage that they could cause. Because when we sit back right now and we're fantasizing about the return of basketball and what a significant break there was in play because the NBA season was suspended, it's not just about keeping in shape, because we know how important that is, keeping your body in shape, making sure that you're physically fit and all of that other stuff. But then the other element is not just can you play, but how much of a desire do you have to play? That love for the game. You know the kind of guys that finding a park somewhere, finding a basketball court somewhere, somehow, where they haven't let their game diminish but so much. I look at a James Harden who rarely misses games. I look at a Russell Westbrook who rarely misses games. And I say, those two brothers probably during this pandemic were probably in their yard or someplace nearby just working on their body and their games. I can see it, and I could see them knocking off at least one of them. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if it's a possibility, Houston is that threat. We cannot ignore that.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.